Let's do this. Hello world, my name is Kelsey, and the new 21 Pilots album Trench just came out. What is today? Today's Sunday. It just came out 2 days ago. My original plan was to actually try and film a jamming out video to Trench on Friday, which didn't work because my car battery, it just died. And so I have new car batteries. Tyler Joseph, please write a new song entitled Car Battery as a follow-up to Car Radio. It's what the people really want, particularly me because my car radio's never been stolen. But my car battery, this is like, what, the third or fourth time I've had problems with my car battery. And I think that's a sign. And then everything was good yesterday, but for some reason I was like, oh, I can do this at 6 p.m. And mind you, it is fall. I live in Northeast Ohio, so at 6 p.m. it's getting pretty dark. It's not summer anymore. This is what happens when you graduate college and then you don't really do anything with your life. You really lose all sense of time. Even when you're waking up early and stuff, you're supposed to know things and you just don't. Anyways, I straightened my hair just for this. Last night I read the 21 Pilots article in Rock Sound because I saw that was a thing that was happening a few months ago, and I was like, I need this exclusive interview. Okay, here's the thing. Rock Sound is based in the UK, so it was pretty expensive, but I was like, early birthday present to myself because I knew it wasn't gonna get here until October. And then a little bit after they announced the Rock Sound article, the big feature that they were doing, Alternative Press, it was like, oh hey, we're doing one too with our own feature article. And I was like, if only Alternative Press had announced theirs beforehand, because funny fact, Alternative Press is based in Cleveland, Ohio. That would have been a whole heck of a lot cheaper. Oh well. Anyways, I read the Rock Sound article last night. I've never read a piece of journalism that made me cry so much. Oh my gosh, so emotional. The guy who wrote it, I forget his name. I'm gonna put it here. He did such an amazing job with that article. Holy crap. There's so much stuff that's been going on in the world recently. So much bullcrap stuff that makes me want to punch someone in the heckin' face. And to have this piece of art, Trench, coupled with this amazing article by Rock Sound, thank goodness the album is yellow because I need some yellow in my life. I have my 21 Pilots Escape from Dima Failed Perimeter Escape hoodie on that I got from Hot Topic. Link to my Hot Topic haul here. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on this record. In my opinion, it is the best 21 Pilots album. I know we're only 3 days into having it, but it sounds the most mature, and I think that's my favorite part about it. I know a lot of people have been going around with songs like Cut My Lip, or even Bandito being these are very simple songs. The lyrics don't change that much, but it's what they do with the lyrics and the musical content behind it. I don't know. I just absolutely love the whole thing. And I can kind of see why maybe they went with yellow on this album. I feel like yellow is typically seen as a color for stuff that's upbeat and peppy. And you think of yellow, you think sunshine, you think happiness, you think just very bright. It might come as a surprise to people that this album is not very bright at all, but it's a lot brighter than Blurryface. Blurryface, I think with the red especially, that whole album was very harsh, it was very hard, and it hit. It was like a punch to the gut with every song, even the slower ones. So I can kind of see why red was perfect for Blurryface. It might have been a little off-putting for people, but Trench is oh my gosh. I think they picked yellow in the best possible way. I think of yellow and I think of fresh, like a banana. We all know how Tyler feels about bananas.
Yeah. No!
Like lemonade, so refreshing. I look outside, it's fall, it's a beautiful October day, even though it is humid as heck. Ohio fall is the worst because you never know what's gonna happen. But there are so many beautiful yellow leaves. Like even with fall you get the red, but with the yellow, it's much more peaceful, it's much more calming. It can be super upbeat and peppy and bright. It can also be a warning, like slow down, you think of a yellow light. I don't know, I could go into detail about why I think possibly maybe Tyler and Josh went with yellow for this album, but that's just me, okay? I don't know, I just really resonate with each and every song. I can't listen to Legend without crying unless I'm like, because, oh my gosh, my dad's mom and my mom's mom are kind of in a similar place to, I feel like when Tyler was writing the song, and like you get that middle verse, or like the first verse technically, when he's like, you were here when I wrote this, something in, but I don't know all the words to the songs yet. I'm seeing them live in, what's the date? Literally my phone's right here, I'm such an idiot. 16 days, oh my gosh. I'm seeing them live in 16 days, so I have that much time to learn all of the words to all the songs. And even stuff on their old like records, like Vessel, Oh to Sleep, there's like one part that I cannot get, and I don't know if I will ever get it. But shout out to Pillow Pilots, I know all the words to Levitate. So anything's possible. Alright, I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts to get some coffee. I should probably get some food. All I had today was a 1/4 of a bag of strawberry yogurt oats from Trader Joe's. Great cereal. And yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym later. Don't ask me why I straightened my hair to go to the gym. And don't ask me why I straightened my hair on one of the most humid fall days in Northeast Ohio. I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is that Trench is amazing, 21 Pilots is amazing. I'm just gonna be jamming out. That's literally all I'm gonna do. So, hello, it's me, your Rebel Red Carnation. Rebel Red Carnation. So come along. I'll keep you in my coat pocket. I'm going to stop referencing chlorine eventually. Maybe not today, but that's fine. All right, let's do this. Safety first. Also, I had this weird thing. I quite literally cut my lip. I have to put like this weird like A&D cream that's honestly from like 1985. My family still uses medical stuff from 1985. I don't know why, but they do, and I don't know if they should, but we do it anyways. Okay, let's go. Also, I'm definitely gonna change my hat when I go to the gym. I don't know why I'm so self-conscious about liking 21 Pilots. In my head, I think it's cause way back when, so I first like heard about 21 Pilots in late 2013. I was not a big fan. So it was people at my high school. I went to a private Catholic high school, and so, I mean, especially it being in Northeast Ohio, a lot of people's like older brothers and sisters would go to college at like OSU, OU, and they would like, they were at these concerts that 21 Pilots was playing when they were very, very small. So I think people heard about them in that way. Also, people, I feel like that's when TOP was a lot more, I don't know if overtly religious, but people really grabbed onto like the undertones in the songs that you could tell had something to do with religion. You know, we have seen this whole new thing with Catholicism and just Christianity and religion in general, where people are kind of pushing back the norm, especially with like music and stuff. I was a firm listener to Cleveland's very own Christian radio station, 95.5 The Fish, just because they would play some like cool rock songs, and it would be like, they don't mention Jesus, they don't mention God, but apparently it's a Christian song. Who'd have thought? There's this really great song called Breakfast by Newsboys that you can tell it's religious, but like, you can jam to it, and I'm like, okay, sign me up. But I feel like people wanted to kind of push away from the traditional Christian music. So they found bands like 21 Pilots where they were like, okay, they're like kind of talking about beliefs and all this stuff, but it's nothing like in your face. They really latched onto that. I went to a retreat my senior year then, spring of 2014. People would give like testimonies and like play a song to kind of like set the mood for what they were going to talk about. And I kid you not, like 5 people played different 21 Pilots songs. So that was like the first time I really listened to the music. I remember someone played The Run and Go, and that was the only song that I really liked because it wasn't super hard, you know? So I felt like it was like perfect for me. This is also a time when I didn't think that I had any like mental health problems. I didn't feel like I was depressed. A lot of my friends were going through some really serious stuff back then, and so they really latched onto this music because of that reason as well. I think that's a really cool common ground too about 21 Pilots, is they have people who kind of know them for their religious undertones and questioning parts about that, but they also have this other huge group that's really latched onto them because of mental health and trying to find that light at the end of the tunnel, asking questions like, why am I here? Why am I staying here? Why should I stay here? It's really interesting to see how they meet in the middle, you know? I like that. So this is kind of what I got from my high school. I wasn't the biggest fan. Then I heard about the clique and I was like, keep me away. I want nothing to do with this, because that was when Problem X was happening and they were like really actually becoming a clique, and you wouldn't have wanted that. Blurryface then came out in 2015, and one of my friends who really has struggled a lot with some serious issues, and that's why she really loved the band. She didn't really force me to listen to the album, but she was like highly recommending it to me. Like anytime we would text her or talk to her, we would hang out, she'd be like, you really should just listen to this album. I think you would really like it. So I listened to it when I was doing my summer calculus homework at the local community college, because I needed to get these credits if I wanted to graduate from college in 4 years, which I did, and I kind of regret taking those summer classes because I didn't have any fun that summer. That's not true. It was a fun summer, what am I saying? I didn't really love it at first, and it took many listens, and it took me picking up on the nuances and the poetry and the lyricism and just the musical content and everything that they were putting in these songs that was coming out to me. That was when I really was like, I'm hooked, I'm in love, I'm obsessed. So it took like a long time, many months, but I did it, and here we are now. Blurryface came out, Life is Good, and then I started really struggling. I mean, I had already picked up like on the deeper meanings of a lot of their music, but that was when it really resonated with me in a way that it hadn't before. That was new, and it was kind of terrifying, but I went with it. Here we are now. Trench just came out, and I've already expressed my love for this album. So we're driving. This person has, oh my god, the hood down on the car. I could never. I don't understand why people are like, yay, it's October, it's warm, it's humid as heck. This is not a fun time. We want cold, we want chilly, we want sweater weather. This is not sweater weather. I should not be wearing this hoodie, but I am, because I'm here to support my queens. Okay, someone stop me. As I promised with this video, I'm not reacting. I'm quite honestly doing nothing but jamming out. We're gonna just play this album, get some coffee, drive around a bit, and then when we're done jamming, I'm gonna hit up the gym, because, you know, I'm becoming John Cena now.
Are you sure about that?
We're just gonna jam. Sound good? Let's do it. Okay. Without further ado, a trench is born. No, okay, just kidding. Here's me just jamming out to Trench. Let's go. I can't believe how much I hate pressures of a new place roll my way. Jumpsuit, cover me. Jumpsuit, cover me. Spirits in my room, friend or foe. Felt it in my youth, feel it when I'm old. Jumpsuit, dusting off my jumpsuit. I'll be right there. But you'll have to grab my throat and lift me in the air. If you need anyone. Just hit those drums, Josh. Alright, here we go. Levitate it's just on a whole other level, you know? It really is. We stan. I'm so hyped. lit, if you will, ready to levitate above my feet.
Oh, I know how to levitate above my feet. And ever since the 7th grade, I learned to fire breathing. Though I feed on things, I feel you can learn to levitate with just a little help. Come down, come down. Cowards only come through when the hours late and everyone's asleep, mind you. Now show up, show up. I know I shouldn't say this, but a curse from you is all that I would need right now. But this is not enough. Yeah, this is not what you thought. No, we honor just graffiti on a passing train. I got back one spot back in that slot. I won't need to replace chorus, verse. Now here comes the end. Wait, habits teach you the wish to structure compensates, but compensation feels a lot like rising up to dominate my track. To at least they all know all the hit comes from a place. And ever since the 7th grade, I learned to fire breathing. Now I think on things that feel you can learn to levitate with just a little help. You can levitate with just a little help.
Welcome to church. Coffee has been acquired. I literally only ever get my staple caramel latte with skim milk. Oh no, someone got pulled over. Here's the thing. Go the speed limit, my friends, my dudes. Like, y'all don't want to get pulled over. It's not a fun time, okay? No one wants to go through that. Yeah, I'm on the freeway, just kind of jamming and driving, and I got my coffee. So let's just pick up where we left off.
We're surrounded, and we're hounded. There's no above or under or around it. Are we still in love and it's impossible? We feel the same, and that's what going on. This doesn't take my wonder, but until that time, I'll try to sing this. If I keep moving, they won't know I'm more for someone else. Nothing through at me to show. Always try to stop me, that Nicholas Bourbaki. He's got no friends, but those who know him most know he goes by Nico. He told me I'm a copy.
Okay, I can't get this one part.
What are we here for? If not, run straight through all our tormentors.
I did it!
I'm more for someone else. I'm just a ghost. I'm more for someone else. Demons recognize someone. Anybody listening? Ones and zeros. Count to infinity. Ones and zeros. We're surrounded and I'm hounded. There's no above or under or around it.
They're not done. You know why? Because they have Josh done. Morph's like one of my faves. We stan. That's the tea.
When everyone you thought you knew deserts your fight, I'll go with you. Find yourself at a lion's den. I'll jump right in and pull my pen and go with you. I'll go with you.
Get a little tambourine.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
Oh, that's it. There, well. Here's like a fun, like, driving pet peeve of mine is when they put up signs for construction that say left lane closed ahead, but they put it on the right side of the road, so the people in the left lane are completely unaware that their lane's about to be closed and they should get over. I'm just saying.
Sipping on straight chlorine, let the vibe slide over me. The speed is a chemical, speed is a chemical. Loving what I'm tasting, depending at times, poisonous vibrations. I'm running for my life. When I leave, don't save my seat. I'll be back when it's all complete. The moment is critical. as a paper maker. But you in my life is like sipping on straight chlorine. But the vibes right over me. Let me catch you up to speed. Can you build my house with pieces? I'm just a chemical. Can you build my house with pieces? I'm just a chemical. I'm just a chemical. Can you build my house with pieces? Just a chemical.
Alright, I'm ready to get beat to smithereens. Here we go.
You know, I've always been collected, calm and chill. And you know, I'll never look for conflict, for the thrill. For you, I'd go step to a dude much bigger than me. For you, I know I would give myself away 153. I would get beat to smithereens. You know I had to do it on the record for my likeness. You know I had to do it on the record for my feeling. Someone stepping towards you can't describe just what I'm feeling. For you, I'd go write a slick song just to show you the world. I would give myself away 153.
Ladies, find a man who will get beat to smithereens for you because he loves you and believes in you. And believes you. The end. That's my TED Talk. No! Okay. Here's the thing about Neon Gravestones. It's a great song and a great track, and I love it for that matter. But it's just so heavy that it's hard to jam to. It reminds me of a think piece in a way. It reminds me a lot of how I have always and kind of continue to view the heavy stuff. Like, a lot of people actually go through it, and like, I'm very thankful that there's less of a stigma when we talk about this stuff, because when I was actually feeling kind of sort of at my worst, I felt like I didn't necessarily have to be ashamed of talking about it. I felt like it was a lot easier to open up. I kind of wonder if maybe because there's this little bit of a lower stigma that, I mean, I can trace back to being younger than I was when I was going through all this stuff. I can trace and pinpoint certain parts where I was like, no, I was experiencing all of these feelings and whatnot way before this time. So yeah, but I have noticed that there seem to be more and more people popping up trying to be like, okay, no one would miss me when I die. And they try and use that as a justification for people to like them now, no matter how terrible of a person they are. They don't put as much effort into their life as they do into thinking about, you know, the after of what could happen if they did something. I feel like there's been far too much romanticizing of, you know, mental health problems. So when people were talking more and more about mental health during my junior year of high school, in our theology class, we had like one day where we talked about, okay, here are some signs to look for if you think someone's depressed or they might be having suicidal thoughts, and just kind of like what to do. But they did it in such like a terrible way, and it just didn't really resonate with anyone, and everyone took it as a joke. Needless to say, I love Neon Gravestones because it basically puts out into the world these thoughts that I've been having for so long, and these thoughts that were kind of part of the reason why I was kind of shying away from 21 Pilots when I first heard about them, and part of the reason why I don't necessarily like when a lot of artists gravitate towards these kinds of topics, because a lot of the times it feels like they're just doing it because it's trending, and not because they want to help people, and not because maybe they went through it themselves, and not because they care about the present. It seems like they care about what's being talked about in the present and how it's going to propel them toward the future. And when you think about that and you compare it to people glorifying and romanticizing all these problems, and someone write a thesis about that, why don't you? But anyways, we're still going to listen to it because it's still a really great song. So here we go.
What's my problem? What I want you to follow me down to the bottom underneath the insane asylum and glorify there was even more with me. In my opinion, our culture can treat a loss like it's a win, and make an earlier grave is an optional way.
No.
Neon gravestones try to call. Neon gravestones try to call for my bones. My opinion will not be lenient. My opinion, it's real convenient. And they say, how could he go if he's got everything? I'll mourn for a kid, but won't cry for a king. Promise me this: if I lose to myself, you won't want a day, and you move on to someone else. Neon gravestones try to call for my bones. No, they won't get it. Don't get me wrong, the rise in awareness is beating a stigma that no longer scares us. I'm not disrespecting what was left behind, just praying that
It does not get glorified.
Maybe we swap out, find your grandparents or someone of age, pay some respects for the path that they paved
To life they were dedicated. Now that should be celebrated. Whew! Hard stuff. Oh my gosh, these people don't know how to drive. This is basically just like my commentary on the whole album as well. The Hype, I think, is one of my all-time favorites. It reminds me so much of like Britpop, mid-90s / early 2000s, like indie alt stuff. And I swear, there's a song that I've heard before and have loved that this reminds me so much of. And I went through my like Britpop, like mid-90s, early 2000s indie alt rock playlist, and the closest thing that I could find to what this reminded me of was Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve, and this feels like an updated like 2018 version of that, while at the same time I still feel like there's another song that it reminds me of, and I just can't freaking pinpoint it. And I keep going back to the video that 21 Pilots posted for The Hype. Everyone's saying that it sounds like Wonderwall, and I'm like, okay, I definitely get Oasis vibes. Like, okay, Liam Gallagher, I can see the vibes, especially with his vocals, but in terms of the music, I don't think Wonderwall is what I pick up on. Anyways, I love this song.
Sometimes I feel cold, even paralyzed. My interior world needs to sanitize. But you don't get thick skin without getting burned.
True.
Nice to know my kind will be on my side. I don't believe the hype, and you know you're terrible.
Thanks, Tyler. I know I look bad.
It's fine. Just don't believe the hype.
This part, it reminds me of something, and I just can't put my finger on it.
No, I don't know which way I'm going,
Josh comes in.
but I can hear my way around.
Okay, here we go.
No, I don't know which way I'm going, but I can hear my way around. But I can hear my way around. But I can hear my way around. Kind will be on my side. I don't believe the hype.
And then you have this killer instrumental outro that just, it grabs you and it just keeps on going, and I love it so much. For some reason it kind of reminds me of a follow-up to Lane Boy, because I was getting a lot of like 90s, early 2000s vibes from Lane Boy, which I, oh, just love. All right, here we go. Everyone knows Nico by now.
East is up, I'm fearless when I hear this on the low. East is up, I'm careless when I wear my rebel clothes. East is up.
What to say when I want to be enough? What a beautiful day for making a break for. We'll find a way to pay for.
Start a concert, a complete diversion. Start a mob, but you can be quite certain we'll win, but not everyone will get out. No, no. We'll win, but not everyone will get out. No, no. East is up. When bishops come together, they will know that demons don't control us. Demons don't control. I keep on trying. Might as well, if you decide. All is well. Isn't what I want. Blood is on my tongue. I cut my lip. I keep on going back.
Oh, I love this part.
Even though it's me I abuse, I keep on going back.
Here we go. He connects it. Even
Though I am bruised, face of contusions. No, I'll keep moving. No, I'll keep moving. Rust around the rim, drink it anyway. I cut my lip. I don't mind at all. Lean on my pride. Lean on my pride. I'm in love. Drink it anyway. I cut my lip.
and they've got this cool thing going on.
Isn't what I want. Blood is on my tongue. I cut my lip. I cut my lip.
We stand Bandito. We really do. I feel like they could open with this song on tour, or maybe do kind of like a mixture, or like a mashup with what they used to do. I don't know.
I could take the high road. No, I know that I'm going low. I'm a bandito.
We stand this song.
Where I used to be, and where our blood needs to be. In city, I feel my spirit is contained. Like nicknames they give themselves to uninspire. Begin with bullet, then I fire to the proof. I'm still not sure if fear's a rival or close relative to truth.
Josh comes in. Oh, I love all of these builds. There are so many, and they're just perfect. 2 builds in one song. But I love where this one goes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. No.
I created this world to feel some control, destroying it found. So I sing
I'm having a hard time getting Pet Cheetah, like the words. I feel like that's a crazy like twist, because this probably was the song that maybe took them the least amount of time to make, in my opinion. I don't really know, so we'll see. But the beat is so killer, so spooky. Halloween vibes, here we go.
I am on an island, no one to confide. 8 days straight, 8 hours each, and not one.
I got it that time.
I can feel pressure start to possess my mind. So I'll take this beat I should delete to exercise. No, I move slow. I wanna stop time. I'll sit here till I find the problem. I've got a pet cheetah down in my basement. I've raised him and bathed him and named him Jason Statham. I've trained him to make these beats. I'm a pet cheetah swinging the studio down the street. All I keep going. I'm sure my house is the one where the vultures are perched on the roof. This means so much truth. This beauty can make him afraid of his music. If he's scared to death, he could lose it. Oh,
I got it that time! That was the most I've got, at least.
No, I move slow. I wanna stop time. I'll sit here till I find the problem.
I love this part where it's like building towards the outro.
So I'll take this beat I should delete to exercise.
Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I really wish that instead of this like kind of wishy-washy outro that they had gone back and refleshed out a similar verse to what we got in like the middle, because that was just so great. And I feel like this just, I don't know, I just don't love it as a way to end this killer song. But I love that scream at the end. We stand the scream. And like, I just love crying, so here's Legend, I guess.
You were one of those classic ones, traveling around this sun. You were one of those classic ones. I wish she knew you. Now everybody knows.
I can't sing that high.
You're a legend in my own mind. My middle name, my goodbye. You were there when I wrote this to show you. Did not know how to take it when your eyes did not know me like I know you. You're a legend in my own mind. My middle name, my goodbye. And the day that it happened, I recorded this last bit. I look forward to having a lunch with you again.
I'm done with my workout. It took way longer than it needed to. Also, I ended up wearing my Walk the Moon hat. I need to do a video just jamming to Walk the Moon, because that's all I do when I'm jamming to train my pilots. I have no idea how they do like the music at Planet Fitness, but I'm just saying different colors came on when I was working out. And last time I was here, Shut Up and Dance came on when I was about to leave. So I think it's a sign. But we just have one more song to jam out to on the wonderful album that is Trench. So we're gonna do that. This coffee's been sitting here for like a very long time, so I don't know if it's good. Sipping on straight caffeine. Sipping on straight caffeine. Okay, I'm waiting for that parody. Someone's gonna make it. Leave the city. I love being emo.
It's glowing, embers barely showing. 'Cause they know that when it goes out, it's a glorious gone.
I love that line, Glorious Gone.
Why no one ever comes back with details from beyond. They know that it's almost, they know that it's almost over.
You get kind of like going back to the hype that like
they know that it's almost in time.
Here's the build.
I will leave the city for now. I will stay alive. Last year, I needed change of pace. Couldn't take the pace of change.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is what made me cry.
But this year, though I'm far from home, in Trench I'm not alone. These faces facing me,
Oh, I just got goosebumps. I got.
they know what I mean.
Okay, but like, just imagining, I feel like they wouldn't take trees out of like the final slot. What if they like, oh my gosh, what if they end, okay, just hear me out, okay. Okay, so they do Stressed Out at the very end, and then they end completely with trees, but come back with an encore, but end with Leave the City. I think that is such a great way to end a show. Like, that'll get people in tears. Not that people have had enough of trees, because like, it's a beautiful song, everyone loves it. To me, Goner wasn't really Trees 2.0. Leave the City is Trees 2.0. But at the same time, it's also not, because I kind of think it's better than Trees. Anyways, that was me jamming out to A Trench is Born. I'm gonna stop with that meme. Oh my god, and we're ending at a red light. Oh, spooky! That's all for me this week. There will definitely be another video next week because it's already been filmed. And that is the end of this video. Whoever you are in the world, like, thank you for watching. If you watched this whole thing, like, props to you. I really appreciate it because, I don't know, I love watching all the videos of people like reacting to Trench and trying to decode all this stuff about the music, but no one ever really just, like, I don't know, jams out, which is another important part of any album. I guess this is the perfect video for me to end it with the iconic line. Thank you so much for watching, and there was a bridge. Stay straight. This is about to be very awkward. It's fine. Is this like a bit much? It is, isn't it? So that was really awkward, so I'm gonna drive away now. God, I hope they didn't see this camera, or else that would be super awkward. They probably saw the camera. What was I talking about? I've never seen anyone have like a camera in their car, except like on YouTube. So I don't know if people like around here do this. I've tried to like creep on people who are like Northeast Ohio or like Cleveland YouTubers, and I just can't freaking find any. I mean, there's some small people who like vlog a little bit. It's kind of weird because I'm like, you're 14 and I'm old, so it's just this whole thing. There are a lot of people driving around from out of state. Should I be concerned? I don't know. Lower. I'm higher when I'm heavy. Oh. Everyone is driving like so nuts today. I don't understand. Maybe they're all also jamming to Trench. I don't really know the answer here. I'm officially done with this video. Seriously though, stay straight. Okay, bye.
Excuse me. Could you please leave?